On to what's trending. So all rise and shout. Let's roll out today's edition of What's Trending.
Keaton is our starter, and I want to make that clear.
The transfer portal, we're going to be active in it.
We envision adding a few spots and a few guys that can help, make our roster more Big 12 ready.
Presented by Bodyguards, protection for a life worth living. Learn more at bodyguards.com.
That Eastern Washington field is brutal. That was tough.
It's hard to look at.
Yeah, that was Eddie Heckard highlights. Right?
Hard to look at.
At
sure.
Weaver State.
The list of BYU football transfers grows.
Oh
It's becoming more and more prominent, and there are some big names in there. Even though the list gets longer, Jarom, I think things for me just get a little bit more exciting because BYU clearly is a place that a lot of guys want to be involved in as they push into a Power 5 conference. The quarterback, understandably, is going to be, by nature of his position, what he does, the fact that he touches the ball on every offensive play, going to be the most impactful player. Like BYU got that transfer. So Keaton Slovis is clearly the most impactful transfer that will affect BYU this season. But after that, where does the list go? So as you look at all of the transfers that have come in, who is your top 5 of most impactful transfers not named Keaton Slovis?
Aiden Robbins, number 1 after Keaton, so number 2 overall. But yeah, running back out of UNLV, got to be the bell cow, got to be good. If he's not good, it's going to be tough for BYU to be successful this year. By the way, PFF grade of 75 last year, which is pretty good. Number 2 for me, Paul Miley. Starting center at Utah.
Interesting.
Transferring down to BYU. If he's not the starting center, he's going to be a starting guard. I would imagine that Connor Pay will be the starting center. Connor did a really nice job last year, #1 pass blocker in the country, I think just overall, straight up. And then Paul Miley was the center on a P5 champ at Utah, played in the Rose Bowl. He can slide in at guard. He has a massive impact on an O-line that Aaron Roderick is very excited about, being as long and athletic as last year's, if not more. Number 3, Eddie Heckard, cornerback, Weaver State. All-American at the FCS level, NFL potential type guy. Playmaker, slots in right away as a starter. Guess what? He's going to be thrown at a lot in the Big 12. Number 4, Isaiah Banya, defensive end, Boise State. BYU is going to be more aggressive with its front 4. Those edge rushers need to do more, and he is going to have an impact. A guy that had 10 sacks in his 4-year career at Boise State, had 6 in 1 year in 2021. Certainly looking for him to recapture that. Comes with Kelly Papinga. Number 5, AJ Vongpachan. Linebacker who had over 100 tackles at Utah State. That's an area of, if it's not deep, then it's shallow, right, for BYU linebackers. You have Ben Bywater and Max Tooley, and then it's kind of some young guys after that. AJ fits in perfectly. We'll talk to him coming up. In a scheme where BYU probably is only rolling out 2 linebackers, in my opinion, most of the time I think we'll see a 4-2-5. We'll see a nickel with 4 down linemen a lot. Depends on the situation and the down and distance, certainly. But I think 4-2-5 is going to be something BYU uses a lot. If AJ is not a starter, he's playing a lot with Ben Bywater and Max Tooley, a guy who had 10.5 tackles for loss as well and had a couple forced fumbles and fumble recoveries and TFLs and pass breakups, a guy that can kind of do it all, which is exciting. Those are my top 5 outside of Keaton Slovis.
Our top 5 are the same, just some differences in the order there. I'm with you. Aiden Robbins, because of what the running back position means at BYU and what it's going to mean to Keaton Slovis to try and take some pressure off. Yes, it's in the game of football. Behind that offensive line, he should be the second most impactful transfer for BYU behind the quarterback. Number 2, we differ a little bit. You have Paul Miley. I have him a little bit further down my list just because I believe he will be the guard. If he were the center, like if Paul Miley is going to play center, then I'm probably more in line with you, and I have him a little bit higher up the list. It's just tougher to be an impact player in a big way as a guard. Paul would have to be like exceptional, like NFL draft pick style type player at guard to move up that list because it's just tough. It's just not a position that gets noticed a lot.
We can notice it.
We can
choose to notice it.
And we can look at maybe Pro Football Focus grades come out mid-season, after the season. They say, oh, my gosh, Paul Miley was unbelievable. He was the next great BYU offensive lineman. He was in the 90s. And then, he moves up that list.
It doesn't have to be 90s. No, none of these guys are going to be in the 90s.
Just saying it as a guard, which is where I anticipate he will play, I feel like it's a little tougher to make as loud of an impact, which is why I have Eddie Heckard at number 2. And yes, I'm with you. The Big 12, they are going to sling the rock all over the field. This is what the Big 12 Conference does. There are a ton of good, valuable, experienced quarterbacks that BYU are going to go up against. Eddie Heckard is going to be tested often. I would love to see an uptick in interceptions, Jarom. It's kind of disappeared for BYU in the last few years. Like
Some of that's luck. You know,
yeah,
it's not all skill to get an interception.
Maybe Eddie Heckard is so good that quarterbacks throw away from him, and it creates opportunities for other guys for more havoc plays in the secondary. Maybe the defensive line actually gets to the quarterback and creates more interception opportunities.
If the sack number goes up, that's potential picks go down.
Sure.
You have to have a quarterback has to throw you the ball. There has to be a tip sometimes. Yeah, I don't know a percent of turnovers are just sort of lucky, but there is a percentage. Like in 2016, BYU had 31 takeaways, and we were like, can they equal it? Maybe. It's like, no, there's no way.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Come on now.
I want Isaiah Banyan to be a top 3 impact transfer. So I'm leading with my heart a little bit on this list. Like, I want him, which is why I have him in my top 3, to be that guy for BYU as an edge rusher. We just haven't had a super impactful edge rusher in a very long time. It's not Bronson Kafusi, maybe. Corbin to a degree.
Yeah, and Corbin even played backer for a minute.
Yeah. So
the scheme didn't allow it. It's like, just make plays.
Isaiah Banyan to be that guy for BYU, and an impact transfer. I have Paul Miley at number 4, and then exactly the same as you, AJ Vongpachan. Because of, it's a 4-3 scheme, but you're right. I feel like BYU's best athletes right now, the coaches kind of feel like having 5 in the secondary is putting the best 11 on the field.
Well, and it's
basis.
Okay if there's 5 wide, or what's the personnel like? You like Ben Bywater on the tight end, though. You like Max Tooley on the tight end. These
Both
guys are
super
pick 6
athletic, have done it before, have proven that they can do it before.
And kind of who's the nickel? That's still to be determined a little bit in the secondary. We thought that might be George Udo. He is leaving. So you know who's not on this list and that I don't want to see on this list? Jake Retzloff, because we want Keaton Slovis to be healthy.
Yes.
Otherwise, Jake Retzloff for sure makes this list.
What's wild is this list could change tomorrow. There could be more additions tomorrow.
There's one tackle coming in that we're waiting to be officially announced so we can talk about it on the air. That could be on this list, right, from a fellow Power 5, even in the Big 12. Waylon Lapuahu could be on this list. Ian Fitzgerald could be on this list. Jackson Cravens at D-tackle could certainly be on this list. I imagine that BYU will get another receiver. I'm hoping that receiver could be on this list. I'm hoping for another edge rusher, frankly. And what I asked this the other day. I'll ask it again. What position, besides quarterback, if BYU added somebody notable, would you not want at any spot on the team right now? I wonder if kicker is one that BYU needs to look at. I mentioned a couple days ago. If they love who they've got, great. I just wonder. I want to feel confident that, hey, if we attempt a 52-yard field goal, that, hey, we feel like this is going to go in because we need to score points. Because it's going to be in some close games and some shootouts. A field goal here or there, a takeaway here or there, going to make
extra point for crying out loud could determine the game.
If you can't make extra points, you stink. But yes, like everything matters. So I wonder at receiver, D-line, maybe kicker. You can always add to every position. I think quarterback, BYU feels comfortable at the moment. But it's like every other position, if random P5 or notable G5 guy or FCS like Eddie Heckard came in, welcome all of that. BYU needs all of the depth they can have because they've never been in the trenches as long as they will have been this season. 10 Power 5s, never done that.
Boy, that offensive line all of a sudden, with the unnamed tackle that is coming in, now feels like they have some real depth to go with Connor Pay and Kingsley Sumatia and Braden Kine, because if you've got Waylon Lapuaho, and Paul Miley there, and then still more to be announced on top of like guys you're developing.
Yep.
I'm kind of with Darryl Funk. I feel good. Like you lose some big names this year, but he feels like they'll be just fine. I can see why more and more he's feeling that way.
Yeah, and you have a first-round potential left tackle. That always is a good thing, man.